Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today I want to talk about what I feel is the MVP of Title Update 15 for the Division 2, the new Catharsis Exotic Mask. Now, obviously, the new Heartbreaker set I would say is the favorite amongst the community. It's incredibly strong right now. I did a video on that recently, and so we'll see what happens from here on out with that. But I have to say, for me personally, I have enjoyed by far from all the new things that have been added with this update, by far the most that I've had the most fun with is the Catharsis Exotic Mask. It's insanely fun, especially in PvP. I knew it was going to be when I read about it in the PTS patch notes, but having it myself, having it, on my actual platform, on my character, using it in PvP scenarios, it's just been a ton of fun, and I think it does that without being overly powerful. Is it strong? Without a doubt, as an exotic should be, but it stays within its boundaries. It doesn't go outside and start getting crazy and overpowered in different scenarios. It's strong if you know how to use it. It's a great tool, even if you're just using it passively, and I just think it's a great addition to the game. And so while there are many different applications that you can use this on different builds across the game, I have paired it with what was already my favorite PvP build prior to TU15, combined the two things together, and now I think it's even stronger. And that's the build I want to showcase to you all today. You saw it in the opening clips. It's insanely fun, insanely good, and I just think it's going to, even replace my old favorite memories with that build with some even new ones, because I just think this mask elevates everything it touches, and I'm really happy that that's the case. So without further ado, let's get into it, and I really hope you enjoy the build. So let's take a look at the build, shall we? Again, this may seem familiar to you because this is pretty much the same structure as the build that I had previously said was my favorite PvP build. Has been for a while, at least, 6 months or more. But what I've done now is infuse it with the Catharsis, and I think it's even more strong and even more fun now. I still have that other version saved in my loadouts. There might be times when I go back to it. But for now, this is definitely going to be my go-to. And so, yeah, I'm very excited to show it to you all because I think it is a very strong and very fun build in PvP. Obviously a bit outshined right now by the Heartbreaker, but assuming that receives some balancing changes moving forward, and once the meta settles a little bit, I think this will be just as good as it was prior to TU15. So let's just get into the details, shall we? For the gun, I have the Carbine 7 Assault Rifle. This is an Assault Rifle focused build. Again, if you have a different one that you prefer, the FAMAS, the Police M4, whatever, run that. This is my favorite for PvP. I have Optimist, and of course, damage to targets out of cover. Crit chance sight, crit chance muzzle, 10% crit damage grip from the firewall, and then of course an extended mag. Secondary, run whatever you want. I like to have something like an SMG as a good backup, but whatever you would prefer to run there. Pistol, just have the orbit as per usual. Then we have the Catharsis Exotic Mask. Now if you don't know what this is, because this is new, it came out just about a week ago with TU15, it is a new exotic mask that you get from the season track. It has armor, incoming repairs, armor regen. Those two attributes aren't really applicable to a lot of builds that people are running it with, but it's just so strong that they run it in spite of that. On here I have a crit chance mod, and then the talent is Vicious Cycle. Taking damage builds stacks to a cap of 30. Each stack grants 1% weapon damage. Taking damage at max stacks triggers a purge, removing all stacks and status effects, and then dropping a healing cloud, which restores 5% of max armor for 10 seconds to all allies in the cloud. So basically, it's a combination of, well, first it purges status effects, which is, I'm so glad that's in the game now, and it's already come in handy more than once when I've been fighting in the DZ. It's a combination of Unforgiving, if you ran that talent in Division 1, and some healing stuff, and it's just a lot of fun. It's kind of self-explanatory, and I'm sure you saw it work in some of the clips. It's just tons of fun, and if you can get out of line of sight at like 25, somewhere above stacks, and you just have that extra damage, you do insane amounts of damage. So it's a ton of fun, and it really makes this build. Like, it's the game changer. Before I had the Coyotes mask, which again, I still have that other version saved, and I might go back from it from time to time, but this just takes it to a whole new level, in my opinion. For the chest piece, I have one piece of Fenris for the 10% AR damage, armor, crit damage, crit chance, and a crit damage mod with Unbreakable. Pretty standard there. I have one piece of Grupo Sombra for the 15% crit damage. I have armor, crit chance, and crit damage on there. For the backpack, I have the Matador to give me that perfect adrenaline rush. Of course, it's Walker and Harris. I'm using 2 of those on the build, so I have 5% weapon damage and 5% damage to armor. I then have armor rolled, crit chance, crit damage, and crit damage mod, again with perfect adrenaline rush. Some people prefer, vigilance, concussion on here. Try whatever you like. I really like having this extra bit of fallback for survivability. Once I get up close to fighting somebody, it's just really nice for me personally, but swap it out as you see fit. Then, of course, I have the second piece of the Walker and Harris, like I was just saying. Weapon damage, crit chance, and a crit damage roll there. And then last up, of course, the Fox's Prayers, named knee pads to give me weapon damage, 8% damage to targets out of cover, and crit damage. And then if we go look at the total stat breakdown on here, you'll see I have 50% crit chance and 154% crit damage. Now, the way I ran this before with Coyotes, I hovered around 50 crit chance because the mid-range bonus from the Coyotes puts you up to 60, right, if you get 10 and 10. And then I had around 178 crit damage, I want to say. So I've certainly lost out on some of my crit potential, but in turn, I'm getting the insane bonuses of the Catharsis, and I find that completely worth it. And 54 was the breakdown, is still really solid. And I haven't really noticed a huge difference there compared to the benefit I'm getting from the Catharsis. So I think it's totally worth it, and I totally recommend you give it a try. So once again, if you ever looked at that other build of mine and you're wondering what I swapped out, I just switched the Coyotes mask for the Catharsis here, and I swapped an armor version of the Fox's Purse with crit damage, which I should have down here, to a weapon one, because I still like the 4 blues, 2 red breakdown. And so yeah, just swap those two things. It basically works the same. You just now have this built in to give you that much more damage and healing, and it's just a lot of fun. Truly. The only other things I've switched is I took off the Firewall Shield because, of course, they did a big change to shields in TU15, so I now run a Decoy and an EMP Sticky. You could also run a Defender Drone. I would say those 3 skills are kind of the go-tos in PvP right now. I am still using Firewall just for the medkit. I don't really know. A lot of the specs are in a weird place right now. I think once the spec rework hits, hopefully in TU16, that'll kind of give us more direction of what to choose there, because obviously I'm not using that shield anymore, but I still think it's worth it just for the medkit. It's so strong, and I'm just so used to having it at this point that we'll see where it goes from there. So yeah, everybody, that is just about going to do it for my breakdown of my reimagined favorite PvP build for the Division 2. Again, for TU15, added in the new Catharsis exotic mask, which I am in love with, and I think it just makes the build that much more fun, that much stronger, and I absolutely recommend you give it a try, especially if you use the one that I put out however many months ago. Again, it's that same one, just swapped out with the Coyotes and whatnot. Absolutely give this version a try once you unlock the Catharsis at rank 90 on the season track. It is, it's just fun, and I think that's what I enjoy most about it, is that not only is it strong, but it's just fun to use. It's a fun new functionality to have in the game. It kind of reminds me a lot of a Division 1 talent, and I think that's part of where my partiality to it comes in, but that's, more than enough said about it. Try it out. It's fun. It's strong. That's all you need to know. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you can be updated every time I upload. Let me know your thoughts about this new build, or this, I would say it's my favorite PvP build 1.5. Not quite a 2.0, but I've just swapped out a few things and made it that much more fun and strong. So let me know if you have any questions or suggestions for the build, or what are you running right now in TU15 in PvP? Certainly let me know. I'll be very curious to hear your thoughts. That's going to do it for me today, everybody. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until the next one, guys, RogueGold out.